In this video, I'm going to show the functions and the capabilities of the software. I mean, the basic functions, how to start the software to work with the pressure tester from AHP Plastic Makina. This version is specifically 8 channel, 8 station with 8 different pressure levels. As you see, you have you have 8 tabs for the pressure lines. Before starting the presentation of the software, you need to set the power plan of the Windows for not going to the standby mode or sleep mode or any mode of the Windows that put it in a situation that disconnects the USB because the connection port is USB, and in any case that this port is disconnected and stop working, of course the software will stop working and data recording. Then I'm going to uh, power plans to edit power plan of the Windows here. Go to advanced mode and turn off. You see, turn off hard disk after 1 minute. You need to put all of these to off mode. I mean, uh, the background setting, no sleep mode here. Sleep after. For example, here on my computer it sets to 60 minutes, and uh, you need to make all of these functions sleep after to off mode. Uh, PCI Express, you need to put all of these functions to off mode. Yeah, and here the other functions, for example, display turn it off as well, not to put the display in off mode. Um, Here, a Hibernate on battery plugged in, all put it off. Uh, uh, Battery off here. You, as a brief, you need all to put all the functions here that put the computer in a mode that disconnects hard disk stop from working, USB connections. There are also functions here for USB that makes the USB disconnected. Put all of the functions to off mode. I mean, when you start the computer. Uh, it works without stopping, without hibernating, without going to sleep mode, and so on. Okay, let me be back to the software. The software has 8 tabs for the pressure setting of 8 channels. In each channel, you have function for setting the set point of the pressure. Here, you have the functions in basic hydrostatic testers from AHP Plastic Makina. The pressure can goes up to 100 bar, for example. You can set the set point to 100 bar. The resolution is zero point 0.1. There are versions with the accuracy of 0.01. Rate is the pressure increase rate. Suppose that you want to set the pressure. This is the pressure I'm showing you here. Suppose that you want to increase the pressure like this. This is pressure, this is time. You want to increase the pressure like this slowly to get to the set point. Set point is here. Rate is the pressure increase rate that is shown here. I mean, in terms of it is in terms of bar per minute. Suppose that you want to set the pressure to 30 bar and you want to increase it slowly with the rate of 30 bar per minute. It means that the pressure will be increased to the set pressure of 30 bar or 20 bar with the rate you defined here. This function is useful when you're going to test according to ASTM burst test of the polyolefin pipes. For example, in those cases, standard defines that the sample piece need to be burst in the time between 60 to 70 seconds, and in that case, uh, you can define the you can define the time. You know the burst pressure of the sample. You know the burst pressure. Suppose that burst pressure is here, and you know the time according to the standard, and this time need to be, for example, as per ASTM, need to be 60 to 70 seconds. And you can define the rate in such a way that bursts the sample piece in definite time as per standard. Here, you also have time in terms of minute. Here you see the setting of general setting of the sample piece, company operator, and general info of the sample that will be added to the report. Here you have the main graph for the station one. When you click on start, this round key will change the color to the light green, and here you will see the current set point that will be increased according to the rate that you defined here. You have C1T function here. This is an important function for protecting the pump in case of any disconnection of the water occurred in the line, in the main water supply line, or any cases happened for the leakage or burst of the sample in the downstream. I mean, suppose a sample starts leaking or or suddenly bursts, and in that case, the pressure will be dropped here, and the controller starts pumping and to get to the set pressure, and the pressure is not getting to the set pressure because you have burst sample or leaking or anything happened that caused the pressure not getting to the set pressure. And in that case, if this protection is not activated, of course, the pump will be working continuously till failure of the seals and seal seats inside the cylinder of the pump. That's why you need to set the C1T max time here. Here for each line, you have C1T max time. This is in terms of second, and it means that uh, any time, for example, let me show it here. Suppose that you had a sample and it was working with a set pressure of 30 bar. Suddenly, something happened on the sample and it burst, the pressure drops, and here the pump starts working, but the pressure is not rising, and the pressure, of course, will not get to the set point, that is 30 bar. In any case, such circumstances happen. Uh, Here, C1T, C1T here will start counting up. When it gets to this maximum value and the pressure is not and the pressure does not get to the set point, will stop that line automatically. This is one important function for protecting the pump. The operator need to check what happened that the pressure is not getting to the set point. Another function for the protecting of the pump is here is in percent value. In percent means that now it's set it is 0.95. It means that here suppose that the pressure inside the sample is set to 30 bar and the pressure is in 30 bar, and it's going on continuously. Here, this is time. Anytime that leakage or burst of sample occurred and the pressure uh, drops suddenly by the value you defined here. I mean, when we defined here 0.95 means that in any cases pressure drops for 5% suddenly, it means that the software need to recognize the sample as burst or leakage occurred. Suddenly means 1 second. In each second, software getting data from the CPU of the pressure unit. 1 second. Suppose that in this second, pressure is 30 bar. And here in the next second, the pressure is dropped more than 5% because we defined here 0.95 for the impercent. It means that sample bursts, and here you have more than 5% pressure drop in the next second, for example, 27. And according to this setting of impercent, of course, the line will be stopped automatically. Here on the main page, you also have a function for save setting. These parameters all together will be saved as text file. Don't forget to click on .txt when you're going to save these setting and load in another time. You need to save the file as .txt, or you can uh, fill this form manually. This form will be the heading of the report file that you will get from the software in Microsoft Word. You also have another page for temperature. When you start a specific line, the temperature is only one line that will be get into the report for each pressure line. Suppose that I'm in line 1, and when I click on report, you will also see the temperature graph. If you start the temperature graphing here, when you want to start it, you can, after running the pressure line, you can come here and start the temperature monitoring, temperature graphing to have the temperature graph in the Word report. In the Microsoft Word report, you will have pressure line graph and temperature graph. Here on the setting, you have another function, log interval here. Now it sets to the default is 10 seconds. When you have 8 station machine, and in any second you will have receiving the data and sending the data from the CPU of the pressure tester, and you want, for example, to do the test 1000 hour for each line, you will have huge amount of data, and it will be difficult for the computer to manipulate these data in real-time mode because all will be going to the RAM of the computer. In this cases, you can set the log interval for the software. When it sets to 10 seconds, it means that every 10 second computer saves data in in a folder. Here you see the folder name, it's in root C, and the folder name is Hydrotest. Every 10 second software saves data for each station in this database file named hydro.tdms. Uh, these TDMS files are database file for the software, that you can load it here when you're going to report a line and you have data for $1,000. Of course, you can come here to P1, P4 report. First of all, load that database file to have this pressure graph on your report, and then click on report here. Here, I can load, click on this key, and you will load that TDMS file. TDMS files, as I said, is in the root of C hydrotest, and you can select the TDMS file of the specific line. First, load the TDMS, and then click on report to have this graph on your Word report. On the setting page, yes, the other functions are for filter level for denoising of the pressure coming from the stations, and all need to be on here. The alarm page is for the technician to see which failure occurred in the machine for each line, sensor or the commands, and so on. If you disable a log function here, the software, of course, will not record the data to the database file, TDMS file. Uh, and when you start the software and you see the graph here uh, from the last test or something remain in the memory, you can clear chart here. You can right click on the graph and clear chart. Or maybe you can delete log, click on delete log. When you click on delete log, the TDMS file for that line will be deleted, or you can also delete from this folder. When you click this folder, of course, you will not have the graph before starting here. I mean, the graph will be cleared completely. Here you have function for the auto scaling of the graph. The default is between 0 and 100. You can change it if the auto scale of the Y is deactivated. You can change it as per your request, like this, and the minimum can be changed as well. Or if you activate auto scale, the software will define the minimum and maximum range of the graph vertical line. Here it's easy to report, and after the test is finished, you need to click on stop and report. The report will be generated in Microsoft Word. This is basic functions of the software. Uh, Another point that I want to concentrate on that is that when So it is the calibration of the pressure lines or temperature that you're receiving here, and setting of the needle valves of the pressure unit. Suppose that you started a line and you have the pressure graph. This is pressure and time. This is set pressure. The pressure going up, and you have such sawtooth pressure setting. Uh, First of all, I want to talk about the structure of the pressure setting on this version of the pressure tester from AHP Plastic Makina. As you see, the main block of the pressure tester, you have a needle valve, steel needle valves in upside, and also solenoid valve in upside for every station. And you have a release needle valve on the downside, and also the solenoid valves for the releasing the pressure from the sample piece. When you have a sample piece and you set the pressure, and starts the line when the pressure inside the sample is lower than set value. Machine starts the pump and opens this upper solenoid valve to fill the sample and raise the pressure. The amount of the flow to the sample piece is set using these needle valves. Whenever you have big samples, you can open this needle valve more to have more flow to the sample piece. Or you want to do the burst test on sample piece, you need to open these upper needle valves more to have more flow of the water to the sample piece. Whenever you have very small sample piece, you need to close this needle valve completely and open it for 1 or 2 degrees. This means that you will allow very low amount of water to enter the sample piece. This will help precise adjustment of the pressure inside the small sample pieces. I mean, the upper needle valves are important for tuning, for fine tune of the pressure inside the sample. These the downside release needle valves are for reducing the pressure. Suppose that the set pressure is here. When the pressure rises and you have overshoot on the pressure going higher than the set value, the the downside solenoid valve opens in the line to release a small amount of water from sample piece to reduce the pressure to the set value. Then this needle valve is important in how much water will be released for compensating overshoot of the pressure inside the sample. This needle valve will be almost closed. I mean, very small, tiny amount of the downside needle valve will be opened. I mean, 1 degree is enough, for example, or less, so that it reduces the pressure very slowly in case of overshoot occurred in the set pressure sets in the pressure setting of the line. And when you see such circumstances in pressure setting, the first thing that is occurred is that downside needle valve is opened more than it is needed. I mean, it will be as I said, it will be almost closed. Very tiny amount of this downside needle valves will be opened for reducing the pressure in any case that overshoot is occurred. Here you have another important thing inside the pressure unit is accumulators. These balloons, black balloons with the gauges on it, are accumulators. Accumulators, as you know, is the suspension system for the hydraulic machines. It causes the pressure to be raised in a stable mode without any fluctuations. As you know, there is a membrane, elastic membrane inside the accumulators. It is charged with air or nitrogen with definite pressure. I mean, in any case that there is not any pressure inside the sample piece, you will see the nitrogen or air pressure inside the air side of this membrane inside this accumulator. That is the charge pressure of the accumulator. As you know, the charge pressure inside an accumulator will be less than the pressures that you will use from that accumulator. I mean, suppose that you are using the specific line of the machine for pressures between 10 and 30 bar, 10 and 25 bar, then it is needed for the air pressure inside this accumulator being less than minimum pressure that you're using with that specific line. That meaning less than 10 bar. I mean, for a line that you're going to use between 10 and 30 bar, the pressure inside the accumulator need to be set for less than 10 bar. 8, 9, 7 bar is okay. But suppose that you going to use a line with pressures of higher pressure, for higher pressures like 90 bar, 100 bar. In that case, of course, 7 bar inside the accumulator, 7 bar for the air or nitrogen inside the accumulator will do nothing because the water line pressure, water side pressure is very high, and such a low pressure in nitrogen or air inside the accumulator will do nothing. But then for the high pressure lines, you need to set the air or nitrogen pressure inside the accumulator to something above 50 bar. For example, suppose you want to use a line between 50 and 100 bar, then it's better to set the accumulator nitrogen pressure or air pressure to 40 or 45 bar. This will help the machine in very fine tune of the high pressures like 90 bar, 100 bar. If you set the accumulator nitrogen pressure to 50 bar, you will have very, very good functions of the pressure unit in adjusting the pressure to definite level of pressure with a tight tolerance, a lowable tolerance for the pressure setting. Another important thing inside the unit is the pressure release, maximum pressure release of the pump. This orange hand key here, I mean, it's a valve head, and it's an orange color. When you turning this valve clockwise, when you turning this valve clockwise, you are increasing the maximum allowable pressure of the pump. As I said, the basic models using 110 bar pumps from Bertolini brand, and when you completely uh, close this maximum pressure valve of the pump, I mean, completely turn it on clockwise direction, you will have the maximum pressure of the pump. If you want to use the machine in lower pressures, you can reduce it. You can turn this valve counterclockwise to reduce the maximum allowable pressure of the pump. Another thing inside the unit, as you see, this is outlet. This line is outlet of the pump. And from outlet, you see a bypass valve that connecting the outlet to inlet of the pump. When the pump is soaking the water to pressurize it, in sudden start of the pump, there will be a lack of the water in the inlet line. That's why for the fluent working of the pump, there is a bypass line from the outlet of the pump to the inlet of the pump. This deliver lower amount of the water from outlet to inlet to for the purpose of the fluent working of the pump. Uh, Here in the backside you have the outlets of the unit. The outlet size is 1/4 of an inch, MPT or BSP connection. The other thing inside the pressure unit I need to talk about is let's see. Let's see. Yeah, the other important point is the cap of the pump. There is a yellow cap on the pump itself. Normally, for transfer of the machine, the transfer cap of the pump is used. Transfer cap has no hole on it, but when you receive the machine and you need to fill the oil inside the pump, you need to change the cap. The cap that is used for using of the pump has a hole in the middle and also has a mark, two marks for the oil level inside the pump. Don't forget to check the oil level and to fill it in case of need. The oil type is defined on the nameplate of the pump, and if you refer to this website of the Bertolini pumps from Italy, you will see the proper maintenance procedures and proper oil that you need to use for that specific type of the pump. Here, there is nothing more inside the unit. Yes, the other point is the one-way valves. In each station, you also have one-way valve in the backside. When you see inside of the pressure unit, you will see a one-way valve that is check valve for each line. When water comes from the pump to specific line, there is a check valve to stops the water from going back from the pressure side of the sample to the main water line. Be noted that water need to be deionized, clean, soft water, because the pressure unit has many elements inside it with very tiny holes. For example, solenoid valves has a very tiny hole inside it, maybe 1 millimeter or 1.2 millimeter or less. In case of dirt coming into the pump, into the pressure unit, will cause you problems, will cause you troubles, and you need to open these valves and check valves to clean it, to remove that solid objects come to the water and cause the problem in the functions of the solenoid valves and check valves. Cleaning of the solenoid valves are easy. When you open this knot, I mean, you see the knot here. You will open this knot. You will remove the solenoid, and you will see uh, the the cylinder inside this solenoid. You can open that cylinder completely from the body of the valve, and you will see a piston inside, and clean that piston and clean inside of the body of the valve using air, compressed air, or whatever in reach. Then tighten the cylinder and the solenoid in place and tighten this knot. For cleaning of the check valves, you need to open the connections in two sides of the check valve, and you will see inside it an Allen type of the screw inside it. You will open that screw, and inside these check valves, you will have a ball and a spring. In case of solid objects coming to the water inside the unit, you can remove that solid parts or dirt that come into the line, and the check valve will function properly. Here, there is nothing more. I think we talked about everything here. Yes, here sensors and so on. Okay. The parts description is here, description table is here. You see Everything here, but as I said, piston pump is Bertolini WBL 1111. You can refer to the user manual for the maintenance procedures. Pressure sensors for this model are Vika from Germany. The pressure gauges also are from Vika. The solenoid valves are from ODE, Italy. Uh, yes. And and the backside of the machine, you only have the connections for the outlets. This model has eight, and the connection for the water inlet to the pump for pumping. Okay, here in this document we also have some important information about the hot water bath. Hot water bath with the heat exchanger inside it. I mean that is working with a chiller, has a heat exchanger inside it. In the right side of the water bath, inside this right side here on the right side, inside it there is a small bath with a heating element inside it. Depending on the volume of the water, there are two, three, or one heating element. Each heating element has 6 kilowatt of the power to raise the temperature inside the tank. The water collecting from a collector inside the bath. The collector here, let me see in which picture you can see it here. If you take a look at inside the bath, you will see a douche here. Here in the top corner side, you will see a douche. And right in front of that douche, you will have a collector to collect the water inside the tank, bring it to the small tank inside here in the right side with the heating element inside it. And on the top side of the small bath, there is a circulation pump that bring the water, passes the water through the heating element, bring it to the douche, and circulating the water for the temperature homogeneity inside the tank. The connections are on left or right side depending of the order and the laboratory plan of the customer. There are connections. Connections also are 1/4 of an inch BSP or NPT connection. Those are coming into those connections here, coming into the lines inside the tank with a quick coupling to connect the sample pieces and hang the sample pieces inside the water tank vertically. The lid of the tank is pneumatically opened. When you receive the tank, don't forget to fill it with a deionized, tapped, clean water, soft water. First of all, fill it from the top, and in the next stage, connect the autofill line here. You have autofill line here. Here, you see in this model, and on the right side there are connections for the autofill. I mean 28.3 here. Yes, water autofill line. This one is autofill line. I mean, whenever the water level inside the tank going down for the evaporation and anything, the level switch will open the solenoid valve to fill the water into the tank to keep the water level inside the tank. Here, 28.1. chiller line circulation in heat exchanger in the tanks with the chiller connection to reduce the temperature to temperature level of, for example, 20 degrees. Of course, you need to use a chiller. The chiller connections are here as well. You see in 28.1. And here on the panel, you have a key. When you turn this key to the right side, I think that is for heating. Anytime you want to increase the temperature inside the tank to catch a specific temperature, means 60 degrees, 95 degrees, 80 degrees, you need to turn this key to the heating side. In that case, chiller will not be working. Uh, in any case, suppose that the laboratory temperature, room temperature is higher than 30 degrees, for example, and you want to reduce the temperature to do the tests on 20 degrees centigrade, turn this key on the panel to left side to cooling, set the temperature on the display to 20. In that case, this controller will activate the chiller. There are connection between the tank and chiller, and the order will go to the chiller for start of the working. The cold water will be circulated using these two connections for the chiller, will be circulated inside the heat exchanger inside this tank that is located on the right side of the tank, and will reduce the temperature to the requested, for example, in this case, 20 degrees centigrade. Here on the panel, you have another key for the auxiliary heater. For example, if you have a one or two auxiliary heater, you will have one or two key here that with the writing of the heater 2 or heater 3. Uh, Suppose that you want to raise the temperature of the tank to 80 degrees from the room temperature that is 25, for example. You want to increase the temperature rapidly. You can use auxiliary heaters. You can turn these auxiliary heaters on to raise the temperature rapidly. But whenever you get to the near of the set temperature, or you reach to the set temperature, you can make these auxiliary heaters off uh, to keep these auxiliary heaters for circumstances that failure in one heating element occurred. In that case, you can use the others, and because the repair and replacement will take time, and of course, you will not stop working and testing. In that cases, then keep the heating element safe for long life use, and you can make it off. You have a key for opening of the door. This key is not electrical key. I mean, when you receive the machine and you want to open the lid without any connection of the electric to the tank, the only thing is needed. You connect the air line here. Compressed air line is 28.2. Here, you only there is need only to connect the compressed air line to open the lid of the tank, because in shipments, in some cases, the stuff is just put inside the tank. You need to remove them before start of the testing and installation. That's why this key is not electrical, because before filling the tank from the top with water, you need not to connect the electricity, uh, and you need not to start of the machine for running. Of course, it will cause failure and on the heaters. That's why for the first run, for the first startup, you need to fill the tank from the top. Inside the tank, you also have a water level switch. As you see here, the level switch here. I think it's 24. Let me see. Yes, this is autofill line, but the level switch, you need to check pneumatic safety, water outlet from the path, autofill, airline, chiller, water temperature controller, door open close, heating element, cooling heating switch, control, pressure inlet, autofill, overflow to pneumatic jack, top lid for pressure lines here. You can see this level switch on this table. There is a level switch inside the bath to control the level of the water inside the tank automatically. Okay, here another point is that after assembly of the sample piece, don't forget to the air of the sample using the manual keys. There is a manual keypad for the filling of the sample piece and the assembly of the sample piece. Fill it with water manually using that keypad. And and then there are hangers to hang the sample piece vertically inside the tank. Of course, in this test tank, you also need deionized clean water because you have a heat exchanger inside, you have a heating element inside this tank, resistance heating element. For the long life, long proper working of the machine, you need the clean tap still water, uh, deionized water to keep the heating element safe for long life. Here in the back side, you have a drain valve. Before start of the working, you need to connect this drain valve. This will be used for the cleaning of the tank. Depends on the how to use depending on the how to use of the water tank, how clean samples you're putting inside the tank. You need to clean it intervally. I mean, 6 months or 3 months, 2 months, depending on how you are keeping the water inside the tank clean. You need to clean it. You need to replace the water intervally and clean the tank and then fill it with water again. You will use this drain valve. You also have overflow. Any failure occurred on the controller, any disconnection of the computer occurred with the pressure unit, anything happened that caused the pump runs continuously and water level going up inside the tank. This overflow line will take the water to the drain line of the factory, keeping your laboratory safe from the overflow of the water inside the tank. The other points, no, there is nothing more here. But this was brief. Of course, this was brief. The presentation here. Also, there is one more point here. On the back side of the accumulators, you have a connection for the charging of the gas, nitrogen gas or air inside the accumulator to set the pressure to proper level for our use. This connection is the standard connection for the accumulators. I mean, if you have a kit, you buy a kit for the charging of the accumulators, you will have this connection inside that kit. This is a standard part. You can also buy from the sales team of the company, or you can buy it locally. As I said, it is a standard part, standard unit named charging kit for the accumulator. If you buy this kit from the market locally, you can change the pressure inside the accumulator anytime is needed. This is a standard connection for the accumulator, and you can easily change the pressure inside the accumulator using air pressure line of your factory. If the setting pressure for the accumulator is needed is less than the compression line of your factory, of course you can use air. In high pressures, if you want to set the pressure to higher pressures, you can use nitrogen balloon gas. That is the standard procedure for the charging of the accumulators. If you Google pressure setting of the accumulator, you will find many videos. Also in our YouTube channel, you will find videos for how to charge the pressure inside the accumulator in case of need. Uh, this is not a standard routine job on the pressure unit. In case of any need for changing, this is for info for the operator. You can easily change it by yourself to have proper air or gas pressure inside the accumulator for proper function of the setting. Uh, Another point is the calibration. As I said, there are another software, small software for calibration named DTCom. Yeah, this software is DTCom. You will connect it. Now I don't have connection to the PC. Detailed comments about calibration of the lines of the pressure unit using this small software for the calibration is in our, I think, if you refer to our website, you will have and search for DTCom. You will find many writings and posts for the calibration. For example, yeah, here, calibration of the hydrostatic pressure tester for pressure and temperature. Here, this document is for calibration. You can download DTCom from here, uh, connect it to the CPU of the pressure controller, and go to the lines here on the address line. One, for example, in a pressure unit with 8 channels, you will have 9 address. From 1 to 8 will be pressure lines, and the line number 9 will be temperature. If you set the address to 1 to 8 or 9, you will see the proper controller. And on the page on PV tuning, PV offset, you can put any value for the offset for calibration. And after writing the number, don't forget to push the enter key unless the value will not be saved here. This is easy procedure. The software, as I said, is here for download. And if you refer to our info center on our website and search for hydrostatic, you will find many documents related to pressure units, troubleshooting high pressure unit using AHP hydrostatic pressure software, and keynotes for startup. And you will find many posts and documents related to the AHP Plastic Makina pressure units from AHP Plastic Makina. If you refer also to our YouTube channel, go to our YouTube channel and search for hydrostatic pressure unit. You will find many videos on our YouTube channel, comments on the elements inside the pressure unit, how to repair it, how to service, maintenance, and you will find many videos. about pressure units from AHP Plastic Makina. Okay, this was a brief presentation of the uh, pressure tester software and the main elements inside pressure unit and tank and so on. Of course, our website hotline is ready for supporting the operators. I mean, if you refer to our website, you will see the contacts information. Uh, if you are on the startup of the machine and you need help, this is WhatsApp line for online help. Yeah, this is our WhatsApp line for the support of the operators for any problems occur during installation. When the machine is installed remotely on your side, I mean, you did it by yourself using online help and online support from our side. Of course, it will take at least 1 week or some days for the operator to know everything regarding the machine. During this period, of course, be in touch with us uh, to have a proper installation of the machine and proper run of the unit. Uh, this is WhatsApp line. There is no need for arrangement, and you can drop message or call anytime needed. Or contacts, other contacts email in our website. You can, of course, you can send an email. Thank you for your note, and thank you for buying the equipment from HP Plastic Makina. We are always here for supporting you. Thank you.